Hello, 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 my Stampin' friends. This is Caron, your ATX Stampin' lady. Hey guys, tonight we are going to be making a couple of quick Christmas cards with one layout. Guys, I'm Caron, your ATX Stampin' lady, an independent demonstrator with Stampin' Up. And tonight, let me thank you for your patience in joining me in the craft room. I'm seeming to be having some issues going live in my Facebook group, so I am popping on here in YouTube and I'm streaming live. I'm streaming into my Facebook, so I'm going to be talking to both audiences at the same time. If this is your first time joining me or watching any of my videos, thank you so much for popping in. I know you have your choice of demonstrators, and I'm so happy that you're choosing to spend the next couple of minutes with me. Please don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to my YouTube channel. The more you interact with me, the more fun we're going to have playing in our craft room tonight. So tonight's card, and this is going to be really quick, I'm going to be making, I think it's 3 cards I decided I was going to make using one card layout. Now, the beauty of using one card layout in one is you're able to, what I call, mass produce cards. If you have a lot of greeting cards that you have to make like I do for Christmas, and you really don't have a lot of time, like I don't have a lot of time, then having one layout that you can use, that you can just run through the gamut of your papers, and come up with some beautiful cards, simple yet beautiful and elegant. It's just an amazing thing. So let me share with you the products that we are going to be using tonight. If you have your Stampin' Up! Catalog, the September through December mini, I'll tell you exactly where these can be found. If you're new to my channel, welcome, welcome, welcome. Thanks for joining me. If you are returning, thank you so much for coming back. And let's get us settled in and come on into the craft room and let's get crafting. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to my YouTube channel so I can bring you amazing content. And don't forget, anything that you see that I work with tonight, any of the products that you see that I'm working with tonight, if there's anything that you do see, don't forget to shop in my online store using the host code that you see here. I'll also link the host code in the upper left hand corner of the screen, so you'll always be able to reference that throughout the entire evening, the entire broadcast today. All right, so let's get started. The star of our show tonight is the stamp set, um, oops, Christmas labels. This is the stamp set is Christmas labels, and it is just sentiments, which is perfect. So it is a stamp and die bundle. It is a photopolymer stamp and die set, and it has multiple sentiments. This is our sentiment holiday Christmas sentiment package. And so we're able to, and it comes with these beautiful dies, guys, beautiful dies. And so this and the designer series paper are the stars of the show. So if you're looking for Christmas labels is found in the annual catalog, and it is on page 40 of the annual catalog. And here's how you can see it, okay? I'm going to share with you these dies. If you look at the dies, there are 12 sentiments, I believe, and three of the sentiments coincide with each of these dies. So if you look right here, this die right here, 1, 2, 3. This die right here, 1, 2, and 3. And then I think this one is this die, so it's 1, 2, and 3. And then the big guy is 1, 2, and 3. So you should be able to get 12 different sentiments just using these 4 dies. Okay, I've pre-done a lot of the work for you guys for us tonight. That way we should be in and out pretty quickly. The other stars of the show is the designer series papers. So I'm going to use the designer series paper from the Regal Winter Suite collection. That's on page 35. I'm using some of the Sentimental Wish Christmas Designer Series paper. And by the way, guys, this is the product in the catalog that is for our donation. If you purchase this paper, $3 from each purchase will go towards a charitable organization. And then the last piece of designer series paper that we're going to use is from one of our online exclusive products, and it's from the season of green and gold. So let's get started. Like I said, I've pre-done most of this for you, so we don't have to go through a lot of it. So here's what we will need for each of the cards, and I'm going to start with this one first. We're going to need a card base, and your card base is a standard A2 card base, and that's 8.5 by 11. I'm sorry, 8.5 by 11. Let me correct that, right? It's 8.5 by 5.5. Oh my gosh. You can tell it's late, right? So it's 5.5 by 8.5, and we're going to score at 3 inches and 7.25 inches, okay? Now the key to all of this is making sure that we have 4.25 in the inside, because that's our inside panel. So we also have a piece of basic white. This is going to be 4 by 5.25 for layering on. Wow, I must not have cut this right. What happened? Why did I not cut this right? Hold on. And then we're going to need a piece of designer series paper, 2 pieces really. And one is going to be 2 7/8. No, that's incorrect. 2 3/4 by 5.25. And one is 1 inch by 5.25. Guys, if you want to mat these, you just increase, you have a mat layer that is 1/8 of an inch. We can work with that, and I'll show you. In this one, I probably will do that. Let me cut a piece of white. I don't know why this is not, um, give me a second, you guys. I'm trying to avoid an avalanche here. Why is that not 4 by 5.25? It is 4. 4, and this is, yeah, that's right. Hmm. So this is 4 inches, that's why. All right. For the sake of this, we're just going to cut this down. That's 4. So we're going to make this 3 3/4. And it'll fit in there perfectly. Just for the sake of the video. Okay? All right, so let's get started. So once we have, this is going to be a gatefold. And this will be how quick we will get through with 4 cards this evening. All right. Or 3 cards, because I did for 3. Now these are going to overlap just a little bit with our largest side overlapping on the left-hand side. Okay, so that's how we're going to do that. And then I want to mat this. Yeah, this isn't cut right. This isn't scored right. That's what the problem is, I think. Hold on, let me see where, because that's too big. Yeah, that's 1.5 inches. That's 1.5 inches. All right. Because we don't ever, I don't ever mat this much. Okay. So what I would do then is, this is 1.5 inches, I believe. So then my next level would be, that's 1.5 inches. I'm going to come down a whole to 1.25 inches. And then this guy is 2 3/4. That one's right. So this is 2 3/4. So this should be 2 7/8. This is 5.5 already. And there it'll fit like that. Okay, that's what we're gonna do for tonight on this one. Okay, so let's just go ahead and add our adhesive and layer these down. I tell you, sometimes I wonder, you know, like I said, the more I try to prepare cars. There you go. So did everybody have a good evening or a good day today? It was overcast here in Austin. It was definitely an overcast day. I went out for my noonday walk, and I tell you, I thought I wasn't going to be able to go out at all because it was so overcast, but it turned out that it didn't rain not one bit. Not one little bit did it rain while I was out on my walk. I'm absolutely ready and excited for Veterans Day coming up. Now, if you have paper that is, as you can see, they kind of marry up a little bit. So I'm going to make sure that when I layer them onto the cardstock, even though the paper is kind of non-dimensional or directional, it's still, because this one is going to go this way, right? And so to match the pair, it's going to need to be that way. Okay. I'm going to have to go check my measurements again and what I cut wrong. All right, so the next thing we're going to do then is we're just going to go ahead and layer this on. And you can see how we can just quickly go through and make multiple cards. If you use a sheet of 12 by 12 cardstock, I'm not sure how many, I don't know how many pieces we can get out of it or cards. I haven't done that many yet. Oh, and by the way, this tutorial, this card, courtesy of Sharon Armstrong, fellow demonstrator. I happened to come across it earlier today, and I was like, that's such a beautiful card. Let me get home and share it with you guys. Thanks for joining me. I see that someone is. Please just pop in the comments and just let me know. Say hi. So I saw that from her today. right, so this card, it'll open with, again, the left side overlapping the front side, which is why if you have like a print like this that marries up, making sure that you align it correctly, because I could have put it the other way, but it would not have connected and it would not have been in alignment, okay? So that's what we got to do there. And then the next thing is we're going to grab our sentiments. Now, I already went and I die cut the pieces for us. So we've got these two, the larger ones. Look at how detailed these are. Look at how detailed these are. Here's another one. And here's the other one. There's 4 of them. I showed you 4, right? Yeah. There's 2. And here's the last one. Okay, now these are all embossed, but not only are they embossed, there's a little slit that's in there. This is how it's designed um, by the creators of this set. You could feed a little bit of ribbon through here if you wanted to do something different. Do I have any ribbon laying around? I do. Hold on. So if you wanted to do something like this, you could always feed the ribbon through just for a little extra design or a little pizzazz. Have it like that. See how you can design that? Do it on both sides. Just for a little extra. But those when you if you do have this die set, those slits are meant to be there. All right, so we've got that. So I'm gonna go grab the stamp set. On this one, I think because the print is busy enough as it is, I don't think I want to go with the frilly, the more detailed. I think this is the stamp set that I want to go with, I think. So of the 3 of the set, the sentiments, you can see it's a hot cocoa day, celebrate the holidays in all the ways, and Merry Christmas to you. So I'm just going to pick one, and I think for that print, celebrate the holidays is where I'm going to go with that. That's this one. Now, if you take a look, you'll see, um, if you look at this, you'll see the smaller side, the smaller words and letters, and then the larger. And so you'll see that it fits on the die cut piece, like so, okay? So when you line the stamp up, you got to make sure that you have everything aligned so that it falls. Hey! Hey guys, how are you doing? Central Florida, what's the weather like down there? Is it nice? I tell you, I mean, here in Texas, I'm still waiting for fall to come in. It is still, even though it was overcast today, it was still a little hot. It was still a little warm. If you like to see the seasons change, man, Texas is not for you. We got pretty much 3 seasons, 2 seasons. It's rainy. We got 2 seasons, hot, well, 3. Hot, hotter, hottest, and then maybe a day of, so maybe 4 of a month or so of cold weather. Okay, so that works perfectly. So what I'm going to do with this is I'm going to pick one of these colors in here because I don't want just black. Oh, I might emboss it. Ooh, I think I just decided I was going to emboss it in gold. What do you think about that? I think I'm going to emboss it in gold. Where's my gold embossing powder? All right, guys, I just decided that. Hold on. Let me pull out that kind of stuff. My gold seems to have disappeared. Alrighty then. It either disappeared or I just didn't put it back where it was supposed to be, which is par for my course. All right, so we're still going to emboss in gold. And guys, even though I primed the stamp with my fingers, I'm going to use Versamark to prime it again because I'm not using a stamp positioning tool. And so I just want to make sure that when I stamp this guy on something, and I'm going to stamp it in, I want to stamp it on something I can use. All right, I'm just going to stamp it on something because, all right, here we go. I can die cut this. No, I don't want to waste that. All right. Yeah, so I have good coverage on that. And to prove it, so that I don't waste that, just grab a sheet of scrap, put this on there. I can heat emboss that. So I rocked my stamp a little bit. All right, so that's what it's going to look like, heat embossed. Okay, so I'm going to emboss that in a little bit. I just wanted to make sure that we would have good coverage when we stamped it on the actual set. So we'll be good there. Now I might get my head in the camera just because I need to be over this to make sure I'm aligning it right. I think I got it. Just like that. And this time I'm not rocking the stamp at all. I am just adding pressure. Guys, while you're listening and while we're waiting for this, don't forget that tomorrow, the 5th of November, the new online exclusive products will be available to all of our customers. Again, if you are interested, please use the host code as you can see. That's listed in the upper left. If you would love to reach out to me, I would love to be able to be your Stampin' Up! Demonstrator to help you with card ideas. I know, I know, I know. That's why we have these things called tweezers, right? There we go. Perfect. I was a little high on the bottom. You see that? but it was almost perfect. Almost. Okay. The other thing I'm doing for you guys tonight, guys, is I do not have my glasses on, right? And so I'm hoping Caron is blind as a bat without her glasses, okay? Just so you know this, Caron is blind as a bat. Oops, I turned it off without meaning to. So once it starts to melt, I'm just gonna chase the powder. And again, the reason I do it that way, chasing the powder, is because sometimes if you move the heat away from it, you'll think it's been embossed. The powder has been completely melted and it's not. Okay, so as you chase the powder, you'll see where the heat has already started to set it, and then you follow. That way, you know it's complete. Okay, so again, I'm just going to keep this very simple tonight. I'm not going to add a whole lot of embellishments. So we're just going to go ahead and put this sentiment on there. And guys, that's how quickly you can create a card. Um, you can create your cards, Christmas cards this season, just with using a little bit of designer series paper, a sentiment, a beautiful sentiment, and um, that's it. All right. So all you'd need to do is do your inside greeting for the inside of the card. I'm gonna go ahead and trim this down. hmm Now the thing about this, the next part, and that you really just have to remember is to make sure that you don't put adhesive to cover the right. So I'm just gonna put some right here because I know where I want that to go, and then I'm just gonna align this and put this right over top. Okay. All right, so the next thing I would do then is add some embellishments, but I'm not going to do that tonight. Tonight was just to show you the inside of the card. We'll go ahead and add this inside. And this card will be finished. And then I'm going to quickly go through the two more cards and show you um, how quickly you can get them done. I don't have to explain a lot. I might have to do a little bit of trimming because, as we saw before, somehow or the other I got my cuts wrong, my measurements wrong. Here we go. Okay, and that's card number one. 7 1/4. I don't know why it didn't work. Hmm. So somehow I didn't fold that one correct. Yeah, perfect. I'm just showing you how I mass produce. If I was doing them without going through instructions, I would have everything pre-cut and then I would go through assembly line like I'm doing right now. Okay. Again, this card, the design I got from watching Sharon Armstrong, her video today. And this was such a beautiful card. So I had to, and it will be used to create my own cards for the holidays. And by the way, if you are not on my holiday mailing list, either as a customer or that's not right, either as a customer or as a friend or family, and you would like to receive a holiday card from me, I'm not going to guarantee that I will get them, but I will sure do my best to get you a card in the mail. So just reach out to me. I'm going to post my postables um, information in the chat. And what postables is if it's a way for me to collect your mailing address and your information, that if you want to be added to my mailing list for cards, birthday cards, etc., you can add that information and it would be available to me. You don't have to do it. It's not a requirement. It's just if you would like to. And I promise I will try to get you a card. I'm not guaranteeing. Okay. So when I'm mass producing, I do things in steps. So I would do one step first. So the first would be to make sure I cut and score all of my cards and my card bases, cut and score all of my designer series paper. Then I would stamp all of my sentiments. I would make sure I die cut or punch my labels if that's what I was going to use. And then stamp everything out, and then I would do complete assembly. Okay? Is that your process when you are making multiple cards? If it is, or if it's different, let me know. I'm not saying my way is right, but hey, let me know. See, this is off too. All of them are scored the same way, but so the measurements are supposed to be, um, on your 8.5 by 5.5, you score at 3 inches, and then you score at 7.25. Okay, and that's how these were all stamped, cut and scored. I'm not sure why the folds seem to be a little bit different, so that's something I've got to go back and take a look at. Who knows, I may have been asleep at the wheel when I scored one of them. Possible, possible. No. Okay, and so these are together. Now we're just going to go and stamp our sentiments. Let's put this aside, this aside, and we're going to use this one, and I think we're going to use this one. All right. Mm, hope your season is filled with magic is one we're going to use. If I can find it, here it is. That's this one. And then we're going to use I think we can use, oh no, that's not that one. We should be able to use that one. Hold on. I think we're going to use sweet as sugar plum candy. All right, so again, that seems to fit in there. I hope it does, because y'all, I cannot see. Okay, it is amazing to me exactly how blind I am. It's not even funny anymore. Okay, I'm going to condition the stamp a little bit. Make sure we ink it up with VersaFine very well. And I'm just lining it up with one of the grid lines. At least I'll know that way. At least I'm going to put this at a little bit of an angle, like that. Try not to rock it. I didn't. Set this one aside. Actually, let me make sure I put the embossing powder on it. I've got my fan going in here, and I just want to make sure that it doesn't dry out the ink. Now, Stampin' Up! Doesn't have colored embossing powder besides the gold, the copper, black, silver, and the white, and clear, of course. But I would, there's also red embossing powder, green embossing powder. So if you wanted to make sure you had those colors to coordinate with the season, you could also use those colors. All right, so we did that one. Now let's get this one done. Again, I'm going to line it up. And then I'm going to stamp. Going to condition it just a bit. And notice, you guys, when I do, and I'm adding ink, I do tap, tap, tap. I try, it's very important in most instances that the, you don't press the ink on, or the stamp into the ink. Either way, you don't press it into, that you tap, tap, tap it. And the reason you do that is because you don't want the ink color to get in between the image or the sentiment or whatever. You don't want that to happen. So what could possibly happen is, this ink is clear, so what would happen generally is if you did get it in between, oh, when we went ahead and we added the embossing powder, we would see um, there would be a lot of excess because it got in between where it shouldn't be. Perfect. Leave that there. I'm going to heat set both of them, and then we'll finish up our cards. So what do you think about these cards tonight? Very simple, very quick. And again, I am going to chase that powder. Once I see it start to melt, I will follow it as it goes along. That way I am 100% confident that the entire has been melted. That's one. Perfect. All right, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to put this one on this card, and I'm going to put this one on this card. Okay? Just like that. All right. And so that's how we're going to finish these cards up, you guys. Now you can always do, and I'm not adding embellishments during this presentation, but I'm gonna remake them and post them so you can see how I'm gonna step them up just a little bit with other added embellishments. But I wanted you to be able to see the simplicity of creating these cards, how quickly you can get them created. So if you are so pressed for time, you can definitely get them done. And then I'm going to share with you some ways that you can then um, step it up just a little bit. Okay. Sometimes that's what you need. I mean, if you're making a lot of cards, sometimes you want something that is really quick, something that is, like I said, quick, simple, beautiful, and elegant, just like we are. Oh, that's what I meant to do on the other one, which I can do later. Let me just go ahead and put this on there. So I've created my own shimmer. I'll post the link to the video where I showed you how to create your own shimmer. So if you're wanting to do like a shimmer paper of some sort. And so I'm going to show you and let this dry. But I'm going to grab that. I'm just going to add some shimmer. You won't be able to see it until it dries, but I've added just a little bit of shimmer to this. So not just the sentiment will have the glimmer from the cardstock will be like you added shimmer paper, you die cut it out of shimmer paper as well. Okay? And then we're going to do this same thing here. This is a very, that's going to bother me. It is. So we're going to go from sugar plum. Then we're just going to place this on this side. Okay. All right. And there you have it, guys. 3 very quick and easy cards that we created tonight with one simple layout. I like this one a little bit better because I have it a little bit more of an overhang. So I'm going to have to figure out what I did with this one because this is what I like with the measurements. So I'm going to go back and redo them. But the measurements that I got from Sharon Armstrong, if you wanted to go ahead and recreate this video or these cards, is that on a piece of cardstock that is 8.5 by 8.5 by 5.5, you score it on the 8.5 side at 3 inches and 7.25. Okay, and then your designer series paper sizes are 2 7/8, 2 3/4, and this is 1 inch. Okay, so in theory, this should be 1.25 inches on this side. Okay, but I think in this instance, it was longer than that, right? No, this was an inch and a, well, it was 1.5 inches. That's why. So in this one, which I like, this is 1.5 inches. So here you have it with um, a 7.25 score, and then this would be I don't know what it would be. Hold on, let me measure it out for you. So we would measure this at 3 inches and score on the 7 inch. Okay, so this is 3 and 7, 3 and 7.25. Okay, so you have your choice of how you would score. But this is what we have for you tonight. 3 quick and easy holiday cards prepared in less than an hour. And of course, I could probably, once you have everything either already done, assembly line, do all of your stamping at the same time, do all of your cutting at the same time. Assembly should be not a problem, and you'll get it done in no time at all. So I hope you enjoyed these cards that we created for you today. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to my YouTube channel for more inspiration. And you guys have a happy stamping day, and I'll see you tomorrow. God bless.